GreensideDawah.com/donate.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you, around you, and may it emanate from within you. Brothers and sisters, much welcome to Postures of Prayer. This is our first episode. So we said previously that we would set a beginning point, or a place where we could start, and by setting that, we could grow together. So if you're ready today, let's carve out the 5 basic postures of prayer. And if we need any help, Mr. Bones is here. But let's build out our basic postures of prayer, starting with the first form. Now, for those of you who are following along, the key factor through this whole journey of postures of presence, postures of prayer, you'll hear me use them interchangeably, that is that the prayer is a healing mode of exercise, of aerobic movement. It's a beneficial, stretching place where you can heal, not solely a vehicle for prayer. Or you might see it as the same thing. But if you're willing to cross that line with me, let's come on over. Let's look at the 5 basic postures of prayer, number 1 being stand. If we get a little chance, we'll talk about this in our next episode. We'll be starting from the ground up. But my idea is that you find the face of your body, turning your toes in, finding your knees and the crest of your hips. So you'll have to turn in just a little bit so that you can feel your midsection. Once you do that, bend at the knees. You've identified the bottom half of the body with the feet turned. The pinky toe and the big toe are gripping the ground. So you might need to just kind of turn the ankles and the toes just slightly in. As the hips now are taking the weight of the body, I'd like you to present your palms forward. And with that turned out, go ahead, turn out for me, because when I say palms, you might just do this. I want the shoulder turned out. Exactly. Now I'm opening my body. If you feel a little pain here, we'll work on that within 3 episodes. So bend, grabbing the earth, turning out, and now I find myself in a little bit more of a relaxed stage. It's next movement for stand. After the knees have been unlocked, the feet are unlocked, knees unlocked, the hips are holding a lot more weight, the elbows, wrists, shoulders have been turned out. Now from here, say, I don't know, hold it up here. Now slowly pull it down. You feel those pops and those clicks. Now bring the chin down. The chin down, I don't know. Hold that up, and you're feeling the muscles around your neck and on your back are starting to pull, but you're also feeling that sternum start to open up. The feet, the knees, the hips, hands are open. I'm turning out. I'm feeling the joint of my shoulder. And as a result, I can bring my shoulders up and down, feel free. You might find a little pain across your clavicle, but just keep working. Slight little pops. Now pull it down. From here, bring your chin down. Most of us are here the whole day. Yeah, what are you talking about? So for the prayer, bring the chin down. And as the chin comes down towards you, here you're ready for, in a comfortable, easy stance, to enter and to leave this world. So exit the world and say, nothing is greater than Allah. Allahu Akbar. Posture number 1. From here, you will be in the posture of stand. Not duck-toed, not leaning, but focused, balanced, and aligned. From this posture, wherever you place your hands, we're going to talk about that in the near future, it is all based on the stability of your shoulders. I do not mind where you place the hands, or if you don't. But if your shoulders are here or slouched forward, you're not utilizing the fact that our Nabi had very broad shoulders, alayhi salatu wassalam. Now let's move from here. If my weight is distributed from my heels to the big toe and the baby toe, I'm grabbing the earth with a healthy arch, then I have some firmness and some buoyancy here. I can bounce it out. When I identify the crest of my hips, I want you to bring your chest forward, and remember, I'm not bending my back. I'm identifying and isolating the hips, and I bring that forward. You'll feel that little bend here where the femoral head comes into your hip, where your femur comes into your hip, and you'll be able to feel that. It's not as much work as you think, but in episodes 5 and 6 coming forward, we're going to have to open up these hip flexors here. This is where you feel it's not that simple. Posture number 2, the access. the flat back, the lumbar spine curving in. And I don't need a lot of pressure here. I'm not hiking. And I've got a little bend. So I'm never locking out my knees. Flat back, tight stomach. And from here, Sami Allahu liman hamida. And from this posture, I'm making the movement from here, stand again, to enter into what we're going to call a bridge. This bridge is from this world to the next, and with the bend here, I'm going to bring myself into a posture, and now I can either go hands or knees first. That's up to you. But with this, I'm not collapsing. I'm not falling into the prayer. That's pretty ridiculous that you would think a group of Sahaba would keep banging their knees into the ground. So from here, I'm lowering my body weight that's already, and now I distribute it. And in this distribution is really where I can find myself pressing into my hips, making sure that all 5 toes, 10 toes are bent and gripping the ground, that my knees are pointing forward, not buckling in. And at this point, I can stretch out to make the sajda. So let's rewind the cassette, drop back into your heels, lift up that body, find the gripped earth, open knees, free hips. From here, find a healthy pelvic tilt. Maybe pull your pelvis up a little bit more. That's a little complicated to explain, but easier to say. Just suck the 6 inches underneath your belly button. Just suck that right in, and then you'll feel that tilt. You'll feel how much we let our pelvis kind of sag. So this is the first half of postures of prayer. Recap. The stands, when I find the arches, I grab the earth. I stand in a posture, loosening the bottom half of my body, identifying this midsection and holding my posture over it. My shoulders don't need to droop. My chin does come down, and I hold myself in this posture of dignity. Now from here, if I need to place my hands, I'm in a very great position to do that, or if not. So this is the first half of setting that baseline. Are you going to start finding the opening up of your hips? And everyone's like, what about sajda and the rest? Friends, let's start to work on this level, and let's take it to our next phase. In the next episode, we'll start talking about how to open up our ground game. How do we start to open the feet, open the toes, and how can we find ourselves healing through the prayer? So until next time, may there be a sense of peace, wholeness, and purposefulness upon you, around you, and may peace emanate from